Yes, I did. But I guess you didn't know. As I said, the story goes. Baby, now I got the flow. Cause I know it from the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I win. Your love and mine. All those times I said that I love you. Your love and mine. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. Your love and mine. Even though you know I died for you. Your love and mine. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel again. It's me, your boy, the Retro Slash, and I'm coming back at you guys with a brand new DVD and Blu Ray update video for the month of July 2016. Yeah, so I'm back, guys, with a brand new update. The month of July itself really wasn't a big month for new releases, so I really didn't pick up a whole lot of new stuff. Most of the stuff I picked up here, I just found really good deals on and things that I wanted for the collection. Only a few actual new releases that I did pick up, but July was pretty interesting. The last couple weeks I actually went out and about and looked for things inside the stores. It seems blasphemy for me now. Usually I just do mostly all my shopping online because I don't have a whole lot of local things out here to do, but I actually went to a couple of different places and actually found a couple of things I was looking for the collection, so that's always a good thing to show sometimes not being lazy and getting out and actually going to these stores can be a pretty cool experience. So all that nonsense being said, let's get into the DVDs first. There's probably a little bit more DVDs than actual Blu-rays, or might be just about even, not really sure. But let's try to do this pretty quick and not make it an extremely long video because there isn't that much to show. So, alright, again, the first thing here is a film that I've never seen before, which is kind of surprising, actually. I never know why I've never seen it before, to be honest. I always hear great things about it. I just kind of passed on it for whatever reasons. And that is Feast here on DVD. Picked this up at a pawn shop for like $2. Like I said, I always hear really good things about it. It seems to be really bloody and gory and pretty cool sounding creature feature. Seems like they're contained in this like rest stop or something like that. Seems kind of up my alley. I don't know why I've never seen it, like I said, but can't wait to give this one a watch, that's for sure, after everybody always talks good about it. Right next up here on the list is a film that surprisingly I didn't own, but after rewatching the remake recently, I decided I want to go back and revisit the original. It's been a few years since I've seen it, and that is The Cabin Fever. Yeah, here on DVD. I remember checking this out in the theaters when it came out. We actually snuck in to check this one out. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good movie. It's pretty disgusting and nasty, man. That whole virus horror, whatever, kind of creeps me out. Yeah, but it's a really executed film by Eli Roth. I believe this is his director debut. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's a really, really good film, man. I love Cabin Fever. Alright, next here on the list is a film that I always kind of jokingly about Scream Factory releasing on Blu-ray. Just because it's an MGM title and it seems like it's the type of film they would release after some recent releases they've announced. But surprisingly, they still haven't. I'm not really sure 100% what this film's about. It kind of sounds like it's a slasher, but it also kind of seems like it might be supernatural. Who knows? Maybe it's a supernatural slasher. And it goes by Christina's House. Don't really know much about it. It's from the year 2001, so it's kind of that weird period in horror. Yeah, I don't know. I figured I'd give this one a watch. I always joke about it. I should actually watch it before I joke about it, see if it's good or not. It doesn't really look that good, but who the fuck knows, man. Let me know if you guys have seen this one and what you think of it. Alright, next up here on the list is a film that I actually already own on DVD. I picked this up here at the pawn shop in order to get all these movies for like $2. The guy said I had to buy a bunch of them. So I really only saved myself $1 on each movie because he was charging $3 each, but whatever. I picked it up though because it's in a lot better condition than my current copy. So replaced this one with the old one. and that is Valentine here on DVD. Yet again, one of these early 2000s slashers, 2001 again. Um, I always really enjoyed this film. It's a really cool early 2000s slasher. It's got your typical casting and everything in it, but it's actually surprisingly really good. A lot better than I thought it would ever be. Yeah, it's one of these films that are kind of get overlooked or missed. It is only available in this weird Warner Brothers Snapper Case DVD. Hopefully, this film gets a Blu Ray at least one day, but who knows? But I'm fine with my DVD copy for now. Now I have two copies of it. Yeah, because for a while this was actually being really highly priced, used and new. So yeah, so now I have two copies of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other one. Maybe give it away to somebody, but yeah, Valentine. All right, next up here on the list is a film, not really horror film, but I know a good buddy of mine, JP, aka Double Shot J, here on YouTube. You might know him as. He speaks highly of this film. I'm not really sure if I've ever seen this before. The premise sounds very familiar, but it's same kind of premise as a lot of these type of movies, and that is surviving the game. Yeah, so it's starring Ice-T, Rucker Hauer, and Gary Busey here. So you never know what you're getting yourself into with a Gary Busey movie, but hopefully this one's good. Like I said, I can't really remember if I ever seen it before. It sounds familiar, but who knows? Can't wait to check this one out. Revisit yet again another weird old school snapper case. You don't really find these too much anymore, which is always kind of cool. I always like the snapper cases. They just fall apart really easy, which is a bummer. Right next up here on the list is actually the first movie in that pawn shop that caught my eye just because of the packaging. It's like a holographic DVD case. And that is Hatchet Man. This is like a Showtime produced slasher film. It looks pretty terrible, but for $2, I figured I'd give it a shot. Look at that shiny case. Who can pass up shiny things like that? Not me. I don't know. I'm addicted to them, but who knows if this is good or not. This is obviously an old Hollywood Video pre-owned edition here. Pretty rough condition is the case, but who knows if this is good or not. It's not about the case, it's about the quality of the film. That's an old rental case for sure, man. Hard to open. Yeah, can't wait to check this one out. Let me know if you guys have seen this one, if it's good or not. It looks okay, I guess. The killer does, at least. The rest of the looks pretty bad. All right, next up here on the list is more of a satire, spoof, or comedy on the slasher genre that I used to watch all the time back in the day on HBO or Showtime, one of those channels. It was like on every single day. From the guys that brought you Super Troopers, which is a pretty good comedy, one of my favorite comedies. That's Club Dread. Yeah, like I said, it's like a spoof or satire on slashers, but it's actually pretty well done and kind of funny. It's been a long time I've seen this. This movie came out in like 2004, so I probably haven't seen it since like 2005. But I remember it being pretty good. It's be interesting to go back and check to see if the comedy's still funny over 10 years later. But who knows? Can't wait to revisit this film. It's been a pretty long time. All right, next up here on the list is actually one of the few only new releases that came out in the month of July, which is from Scream Factory and part of their IFC deal. I always like to pick the DVDs up most of the time of these films. A film I actually did review on Body Bags. Thought it was a really fantastic killer dog movie, and that is The Pact here. Yeah, so if you want to hear my full thoughts on this, head on over to Body Bags and check out my review. It's a really solid film, a lot better than most of these IFC titles are. Yeah, so that's The Pact. All right, next up here on the list is something I bought online, used for a pretty decent price. I paid like $8 for it. This thing can be sell for a little bit more than that. Can be pretty expensive. It's one film that I always want to check out. I haven't seen it. It's from the Katrina's Nightmare Theater collection, and then it's humongous here. The reason why I got this is a lot of people put it on like 80 slasher lists, and some people consider it to be a slasher, some people don't. I'm not really sure 100%. Never seen it before. So after I watch it, I will determine if it goes into the slasher collection or not. But one that I can't wait to check out. It's been a long time coming for this film for me to check out. Finally found it for a decent price. Right, next up here is another film that I found for a decent price that I've been after for a while. For some reason this film sells for a lot. It's not really that good of a film, but it's from the year 1990. It's a sequel to another pretty bad 80s slasher film, but I gotta get this for the collection, of course, and that is Sorority House Massacre 2. Yeah, never seen this one before. It just looks like a bunch of hot babes and their lingerie getting picked off by a killer with the ice axe, ice pick thing. I don't know, like that thing from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Who knows if this is good or not? Like I said, never seen it before. Uh, yeah, who knows? All right, last up here for the DVDs is a film that I've been so searching for forever. I actually ordered this edition here from the Amazon UK. I never received it for some reason. So the funny thing I have is, feeling I have is, this is actually the copy that I ordered. Somebody stole my mail and brought it to the store and traded it in because they had this one in another movie that was in that order that I made sitting on the shelf, and I don't think too many people where I live actually order movies from the UK, which is kind of just blew me away. I didn't really think about it right away, but I'll be damned if I did. So technically, I bought it twice. Well, technically, I got a refund for the other one, but paid a little bit more than I actually wanted to for this copy. But that is Hell Night Terror on DVD. Finally, so glad to own this film. I spotted one of these slasher films that I've been after for a long time. Like I said, that Anchor Bay edition just goes for dumb money. You can't ever seem to find it for a fair price, and it seems like it's never going to get a Blu Ray release anytime soon. Yeah, so this is the UK edition. I'm currently working on my other DVD player that plays Region 2 DVDs. It was damaged in some water damage after a flood we had a couple weeks ago. So I'm trying to figure out for me a way to watch this film. But yeah, just glad to finally own it. I will check it out eventually someday. Whether or not I have to actually buy a region free player will determine that viewing of this film, but whatever. Glad to finally own it. I can take it off the list of slasher films that I've been after for a while. Alright, so that does it for the DVDs. Let's move into this little stack of Blu-rays here. Not too much, but some pretty decent stuff actually. First thing I picked up, I haven't opened this edition yet, but I've seen this movie a million times. It's not really a horror film, but it's a Stephen King adaptation. I just ordered this because I had to make the $50 free shipping thing. And this was like $6, and that is Stand By Me here on Blu-ray. One of my all-time favorite movies, man. Just a really good coming-of-age type film. Yeah, I always love this film, man. It's one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations of all time. So finally own this film on Blu-ray. Pretty cool. I have the old DVD copy, but I don't know where it is, to be honest with you. But yeah, I got Stand By Me, the 25th anniversary edition. Alright, next two here, I took advantage of that deep discount sale on the Olive titles. They like buy one, get one free, whatever. So the first thing I picked up was a film that I've been eyeing for a long time. Just finally pulled the trigger recently. And that is the Bogans here on Blu-ray. I watched this a couple nights ago, like about a week or so ago. I really wasn't a big fan of it. It's kind of slow and drags on for a little bit. But when it actually gets into you seeing the creatures or whatever, it's actually pretty cool. Like the last half an hour of the film or whatever, it's pretty well done. But the rest of the film's really slow and kind of just, be honest, not the word that I like using too much, but it's pretty boring. But I own it now. As you can say, I finally seen the Bogans. Alright, next up, the other thing in the olive sale that I picked up, whatever one you want to call free, it's up to you. I haven't checked this one out, but it's a Scarecrow film from the year 1995, and that is Night of the Scarecrow. Yeah, I love me some Scarecrow movies. The sad thing is there's not too many good ones out there, but this one I hear a lot of good things about. Can't wait to check it out. Sounds like it's got a pretty cool premise and whatever. It's like a revenge type film. So hopefully this is good, as everybody says it is. Night of the Scarecrow, a film from 1995. Don't own too many films from 1995. Especially horror-wise. Alright, next up here on the list is one of these newer releases. It's a 2015 film, 2016. You debate on whatever year it came out. It was released on me the year 2016, so it's a 2016 film to me. Probably in the top 5 films of this year so far that I've seen, non-horror or horror-wise. And that is The Green Room here, starring Patrick Stewart. I'm not gonna say that guy's name, and I'm not gonna say Imang Poot. I don't know. This is a pretty fantastic film. Basically, this rock band, whatever, performs at this like neo-Nazi bar club thing, and they witness a murder and whatever, and they just basically have to try to find a way to escape and fight off some neo-Nazis. Is it neo-zombies? That's kind of weird. Yeah, really fantastic. Great atmosphere. Pretty intense film, man. It's pretty well made. I really enjoyed the hell out of this film. One of these films that I probably revisit every so often because it was just that damn good. So that's The Green Room. Check it out, guys, if you haven't yet. All right, next two are from Scream Factory. First one's a real old release from Scream Factory, something I just never picked up back then. As a lot of those older Scream Factories, I passed on. But I found this used for a pretty good price. Unfortunately, I didn't get the slipcover, which is okay. I don't really bitch too much about the slipcovers anymore because I'm missing so many, so it doesn't bother me anymore. But that's John Carpenter's They Live. Fantastic film. I always love this film. It's just a kind of a good political statement and movie, satire on political statements and whatever. Starring, of course, the late great Roddy Piper, most infamous for that infamous fight scene that just goes on and on forever, but it's so funny and badass. Yeah, so glad to finally own this on Blu Ray. Pretty cool sci-fi horror film. Alright, next up here from Scream Factory is the only other new release Scream Factory besides that pack that I picked up this month. One of my all-time favorite movies, and I must say this might be the best Scream Factory release to date. Out of all the films they've released, I think they've released over 300 films on DVD and Blu Ray. This might be the cream of the crop when it comes to editions, and that is the Return of the Living Dead edition. I did have the slipcover, but it's behind me somewhere. If I move, it might be or not. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, just a lot of great special features. I'm not really a huge special feature guy, but this one actually prompted me to watch quite a few of them. Still haven't finished watching them all yet. I watched the documentary on 80s horror. What do you call it there? The Horror's Hallowed Ground, where the guy goes and visits locations of the film, which is pretty cool. I don't really care for commentaries or anything too much, but I like learning about films, and this is one of my all-time favorite films, so I was glad to learn a little bit more about it, and yeah, really stellar transfer. Cool menu to this one. Yeah, everybody knows Return of the Living Dead. This is an edition you must own if you like this film. Good stuff from Scream Factory. So really surprised me with that. Right next up here is a film that kind of just came out of nowhere. It's an 80s slasher film. One day I was just browsing Amazon and I seen this pop up in there, and I'm like, what is Moonstalker? So I did some research, and it turns out it's a slasher from 1989. They sent it in this really weird plastic bag. It's a burn-on-demand Blu Ray. I'm just going to take it out of the bag because it's hard to see. And that is Moonstalker here. Can't wait to check this out. I got it in the mail a few days ago, but a lot of crazy stuff's been happening at home in my personal life, so I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But I can't wait to watch a slasher film that I've never even heard of before. So, yeah, I was reading a little bit like a few minutes ago before I started doing this video that the transfer on it and everything's not that great, which really isn't surprising because looking at the DVD copy of this, it seems like one of those ones you would buy at like the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store editions. So I don't expect the transfer to be too great, but I could say I've seen a slasher film that not too many other people might have from the 80s. So yeah, this is also a region-free Blu-ray from Film Rise. They put a lot of weird things on Blu-ray recently. The only other Film Rise edition I own is that Killer Bunny movie. Was actually pretty fantastic. Not a whole lot of special features or anything on that, but they do a pretty good job. They're just releasing cool films, in my opinion. So that's pretty cool. Moonstalker. Alright, the last thing I picked up here is some Grindhouse releasing. And no, it's not the Grindhouse releasing that you're thinking it is. It's one that I've been on my wish list forever to get. It's just always so damn expensive, as all these Grindhouse releases are. But it's one that's been highly recommended to me by a few people. Zach and Derek and Moods and all them. I always said I should check out this one. I know Zach says he likes this one better than Cannibal Holocaust. I believe that's what he said. And that's Hannibal Ferox. I watched this the other night. I thought it was really, really well done. Awesome score to this film. Directed by Umberto Lenzi. It's kind of in a way of a ripoff, or like basically a ripoff of Cannibal Holocaust, just not done with the documentary style of the film. I do prefer Cannibal Holocaust over this one, but it's a really fantastic cannibal movie. I haven't seen a whole bunch of cannibal movies yet in my viewing history, but this would be towards the top of the best ones. Really well done. Pretty nasty stuff, man. If you have a hard time with like animal decapitations and killing animals in films, that kind of stuff, this isn't for you. But yeah, it's not really for me either. But I'm glad I checked it out. I really did enjoy it for the most part, besides those pretty insane killing of animal parts. Yeah, so Cannibal Ferox here on Blu Ray. Excellent edition from Grindhouse. Comes with the source, the soundtrack, and everything. Glad I picked this up. So there's only a few other Grindhouses that I'm releasing of their Blu Ray catalog. So can't wait to pick those ones up. And that does it for my DVD and Blu Ray haul. This video actually went a little longer than I thought I was going to. Let me guys know what you think about everything I picked up. Let me know what's your favorite thing in this pickup you've seen or whatever. Till next month or whenever I do one of these again. I'll see you guys then. I'm the Retro Slasher signing off. Enjoy your life, bros.